And welcome back to Hardball Sports Talk, brought to you by Hardball Sports Media. My name is Brandon, and like always, or as of recently, like always, anyways, here with me is Alex. Alex, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Brandon, as usual. How are you doing?
We're hanging in there. That
Hey,
cough I had the other night is gotten worse, so we're struggling
eh.
today.
Hey, at least I
But
remember to unmute my mic this time when I started talking.
yeah, we're improvements, and hopefully, when I start coughing, I mute my mic in time and unmute it in a
Eh,
reasonable amount of time.
eh.
So. But I got it on this side, so if it starts flashing, I know it's muted, so we're good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I
Uh,
can see it.
just so you are aware, I do have the Wings game on right now. So if I looked to my, I guess, left,
Yeah, I
it's
got it to my
because
right.
the Wings are on, and it's probably not professional of us to do this, but we like the Wings, so
We just like sports. If you like sports, you came to the right place. We like football. We like baseball. We like hockey. We tolerate basketball. I coach basketball, so I like basketball now too. My team won last night by like 20 points, by the way. Great coaching on the sideline.
yeah, it has
Um,
been the assistant coach.
yep, I'm not the head coach. We don't need that. I'm the assistant to the head coach.
There you go.
Minor Dwight Schrute right there. But yeah, we're big sports guys here. If you've never listened to us before, we're just two dorks who love sports, love joking around. We've been best friends for over half our lives now.
Wow, that's
Yeah, I know.
that's true. It's hard to believe that.
It is true.
Wow.
Because we met when I was like 14, 15, and now I'm 32. So,
Dang. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Hey, how about that?
yeah. So we were growing old together. We were both in each other's weddings. We feed off each other really well. So nobody else I'd rather do this with than you. And
Uh-huh.
that's, well,
Feels
oh, I know.
special.
Well, there's really not many other people that know sports and like sports as much as I do. And you're on
Right.
that list. So,
Well,
and I think, again, if you haven't listened to us before, we do ramble a lot. We're getting better on it though. But so Alex, his specialty is more on the college football side of things. So when we do college football episodes, he will have more takes. Oh, how's they shot? Oh, nice hit.
yeah. Again.
Anyway, sorry. Again, sorry. We're watching Wings. Um,
Probably should focus
so
on this here.
yeah, we should probably not watch the Wings.
Eh.
But so Alex is more into college football. I am more NFL for football. The rest of the sports, though, obviously nobody really follows college baseball, so we're more MLB. Um, we're both Tigers fans, Wings fans. Unfortunately, somehow Lions fans, which
Oof.
we'll talk. We'll talk about the Thanksgiving Day game. Unfortunately, we won't talk about the moon thing.
Nope. Nope.
Nope. And if you don't know what that is, apparently the Lions on Thanksgiving under a certain moon phase are 0-13,
Yeah.
and that moon phase was last Thursday.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't even
but
know there
anyway,
was that many moon phases.
well, I knew about moon phases, but my question is, who the heck came up said,
Oh, there's
there's
another
this.
dork that's like us that's more into more stats and stuff, and it's like, oh, they're doing all that, you know. Which
We
I give
need
them
to,
props that they find out. It's just, yeah,
if you are this person and you're listening to this, please contact us. We want you on the show because I love you.
yes. Wasn't there
Uh,
another stat I sent you?
about the Lions.
Yeah, there's something else. I
I
I
don't.
swear something else. Maybe it's a different stat. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, moving on.
What are we talking about today, Brandon?
Well, we got a little bit of signings, a few signings in hockey and baseball to go over, and then every week on the Thursday episode we do our NFL game picks. So, with all that being said, let's get started. As we're both sitting here watching the Red Wings, it was announced yesterday that Patrick Kane, the former
Mhm.
Chicago Blackhawk, has signed with the Detroit Red Wings on a 1-year deal. He's coming off hip surgery. He played for the Rangers last year. His numbers the last couple of years have been down. Some of that's related to the hip injury. Some of it's just age of a hockey player. And the older you get, the less productive you are. That's just life. But it's a big signing for the Wings. I don't think we're going to get Patrick Kane from the Blackhawks day. I think I think that person's not there anymore. But he does bring a veteran presence. He's won cups before. He does still have something left in the tank, or else Eisman I don't think would bring him in, just for a locker room piece. And the thing I like the most is DeBrincat's best year offensively was in, I believe, 2018 when he was with the Blackhawks, and he was on majority of the time he was on the same line as Patrick Kane.
Right.
So for DeBrincat, I really like this signing. I think it
Yeah.
does well for Detroit. I think it helps the power play a lot. Um, what are your
Yes.
takes on this one?
One of the first things that kind of jumped out to me, yeah, DeBrincat was on the team, but when was the last time a big name free agency chose Detroit Red Wings? Early 2000s, maybe? Brett Hall, Shanahan, and them. When,
I mean, do you want to include Mike Modano as a big time free agent?
well, yeah, I love Mike McDonald, but that's a different reason. But
But yeah,
anyways,
it's been a while
it's
since.
been a while since we had I guess, okay, a well known name choose Detroit to want to actually go play hockey there for a team that has not been doing good the past what 6-7 years or so.
Yeah, but I will say this: there is a lot of young pieces in Detroit to be excited about for the Red Wings.
Yes,
And then
yes,
Yzerman, we talked about the other day, but Yzerman's the GM. He, for the most part, built Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay won multiple cups in the last few years. So
yep,
there's the right pieces are in place there for the Wings, and it's an exciting time to be a Wings fan. That's for
agreed.
sure. Um, but we could sit here and talk hockey. We were just talking about before the show that we need a hockey episode,
Yes,
and that is going to happen here soon. We're probably going to wait till college football slows down a little bit, because, like I said in the intro, we Alex loves college football. I love college football too, but we're not talking college football today. The next signing we wanted to bring up, like I said, we're both Tiger fans, and this one is a Tiger signing. This is Scott Harris's first. I don't want to call it a major signing because I don't think Kenta Maeda is a major signing. I don't think that's the right term, but it is his most impactful signing, we'll say, to date.
mm-hmm.
Because last year the main moves he made was trading for McKinstry and Nick Maton and Matt Vierling.
Right.
And then also he signed Michael Lorenzen, who was the team's all-star. But for the most part, like when you sign Lorenzen, you're not like all excited about it either.
No.
Kenta Maeda, he's been a thorn in the Tigers' side for ever, it feels like, with Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have him on our side. Now, hopefully, he can be a
Mm-hmm.
pain on somebody else's side instead of ours.
Yeah.
But one thing about this signing, and this is just complete speculation on my part, there's a Japanese pitcher that's supposed to be one of the biggest prize free agents, and I'm not talking about Shohei. But his name is. I'm not even going to try.
I, wa- I was
Actually, I'm going to try.
I was waiting for you to try, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
All right.
It's Yoshinibu Yamamoto, and
Beautiful.
I just completely butchered that. So I apologize for that. But allegedly, it has been reported that he would like to sign with a team that has Japanese players on it. Well, the Tigers, as of the signing, have one Japanese player on their team,
Hey,
and
better late than never.
exactly, and there's been reports that the Tigers have made it known that they're interested in Yamamoto. It's more fun to say is this his last name, Yamamoto.
Yeah. Kind of like
You know,
Giannis.
yeah, Giannis. We're not going to talk about Giannis. I could go on a rabbit trail with him, but we're not gonna. Um,
Hey.
but anyways, so Kenta Maeda, he's not a top line starter, so this is not Eduardo Rodriguez we're signing here, anything like that. Best case scenario, he's probably your 3, maybe low end 2 starter.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what you're hoping for. Uh, Best case scenario, he'd be a 3, possibly even a 4 starter. So it's not like an ace we're signing here.
Right.
But he does eat innings, and that's important, especially when the Tigers. It feels like their bullpen starts more games than their starters do.
Yeah. I feel like their bullpen always has more innings than their starters do.
Well, they do, because a part of that is because they coddled the pitchers, because you had Matt Manning, Casey Mize, Trick Skubal. Obviously,
Yeah,
Mize, excuse me, didn't pitch last year.
right.
Uh, and then last year you also had like Reese Olson and those guys. So you don't want to.
Yeah.
They're babying these pitchers, which, say what you want about that. That's what the Tigers have chosen to do, is limit their innings, and uh, people wonder why there's injuries. I think it's because of specialties for like sticking to one sport, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Another signing that's relevant to the sports world, Sonny Gray, pitcher. I believe he's most recently with the Twins. Signed with the Cardinals the other day. This contract, I believe, was it 7 years?
I think so.
Yeah. But 7-year contract for Sonny Gray. And Sonny Gray, I've always liked him. I don't know if he's a true ace of a staff, but he is a really good pitcher. Another person that's been a pain in the side for the Tigers. Of course, when the Tigers have been as bad as they've been for the last 5 years, everybody's a pain in the side for the Tigers. Am I muted?
No, I was actually doing research.
Okay.
Sorry, it's
Okay.
3
Oh,
years,
no,
75 million.
3 years. That's where I got the 7.
Yeah.
No, you just weren't like, you weren't even like it looked like you couldn't hear me or anything, so I was
Oh
making
no,
sure.
I could. I was typing
Okay,
in. Yeah,
because I kept
trying to
on
do
looking at
this
my
on the
dot. I'm like,
fly.
my dot's good, so
No, you're good. You're
not
good. Keep going.
flashing.
Keep going. Keep going.
But anyways, so Sonny Gray going to the Cardinals. Cardinals, historically, always a good baseball team. Last couple of years, they've been kind of down. They're hoping that Sonny Gray can spark something in this organization. We'll see what happens. I like the signing personally, for 3 years for Sonny Gray. I believe he's 32 in that range for age. So you still got some left in the tank, and you didn't get him for too long either. So it is 3 years, not 7. So you're getting to age 35 year, I believe, which is historically about the time when pitchers start really falling apart. So you get him for the right time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this signing for the Cardinals. I have somebody that I kind of wanted the Tigers to go after. I didn't say that in the podcast, but I didn't think it would be a realistic possibility because I didn't know what Scott Harris would do. So
Right.
far, he hasn't been aggressive in free agency. But do you have any takeaways on the Sonny Gray signing?
No.
All right, and then one last one. This one just was announced while we were getting everything ready, so we don't have a whole lot of information for you guys. But Luis Severino, Yankee starter, is going across the town to the Mets, which is always fun when the Yankees and Mets players swap teams.
Yes.
Makes for some good drama in the city of New York. Again, this signing just happened in the last couple hours, so I haven't had a whole lot of chance to really do any research on it. But excuse me. But we will break this one down for you guys on a later episode,
Yes.
and we will get more information on him and the numbers and stuff like that. But we just wanted to make it announce the signing, just so we weren't completely last on the block on it. But Luis Severino, good pitcher again. And I believe it's Citi Field for the Mets. I think that's a deeper ballpark than Yankee Stadium, but I think this baseball stadium across the street from my house is a bigger stadium than Yankee Stadium.
You
So
mean Yankee Stadium where right field's like 10 feet out from the
yeah.
infield or
So
whatever?
anytime a pitcher leaves Yankee Stadium, it's always a good thing for him.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, we are now gonna head to the NFL. We're gonna do our game picks for every game. Normally, I try to give you guys a little bit more insight, but I've been under the weather last few days, so I just haven't had the mojo to really do anything besides go to work and clean snow, because where I live, we got lots of snow, so I've been dealing with that. So it's been a fun week with that. But anyways, this week, Thursday night football, so tonight, we actually have a halfway decent game for once on Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Texas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Seahawks 6-5 on the year. I believe they lost their last game last week. And the Cowboys, all they do is beat bad teams. They are 8-0 against teams with winning records, 0-3 against teams with the winning record. Seattle comes in this one 6-5. However, I think Seattle is trending downwards right now. I think Dallas wins this game. I think it is a competitive game, though. I just think Dallas has too much firepower, especially on defense, for Geno Smith and company to be able to hang with. What about you?
Yeah, I think Dallas is actually going to win a closer game than probably what everyone's saying. Uh, it'd be interesting to see how Dak does against a better defense. Like you were saying, with the winning record, he's beating up on teams he should have. He's looked like an MVP, but that's because they've been playing teams under 500. But I got Dallas winning a close game here.
Next game we got is the Indianapolis Colts against the Tennessee Titans. Colts, I believe, won the first matchup with these two teams in Indy. And what they did was they basically said, Ryan Tannehill beat us. We dare you. And Ryan Tannehill obviously is not good enough to beat anybody by himself. The run game for Tennessee is always what they rely on. And when you take that away from them, they're not a good team. Indy, however, they are down to Gardner Minshew, who I also do not think can carry a team. So it's
Oh, come
basically
on.
I love Gardner Minshew, but like he's not a
Minshew
long-term
Mania,
inside quarterback.
baby.
No, you and your backup quarterbacks. You're worse than a Packer fan with Tim Boyle.
Ugh, that dude. No, I would never take him.
No, but okay, rabbit trail time.
Yes,
So
here we go.
Here we go. When the Lions signed Tim Boyle, how many years ago was that? Like 3-4 years ago now?
Yeah.
I believe so. When Patricia was still running things in town and destroying our franchise to the ground. Anyways, one of the great moves he made was bring in Tim Boyle to be our backup quarterback. And I live in Packer country, and I'm a Lions fan. And the Packer friends of mine, they're like, dude, you have like the best quarterback in the league now. And I'm like, who are you talking about? Stafford? I'm like, are you guys finally coming around on Stafford? Because I've loved Stafford. Like, I was one of those
Oh, I
Lions
know.
fans. I was one of those. I mean, I didn't think it was the world's greatest thing, but like, I didn't see the hate either. Like, I thought he was good. But anyways, I'm like, you guys finally coming around on Stafford? They're like, no, Tim Boyle. I'm like, are you serious right now? So we got to watch Tim Boyle play in the preseason, and I've texted them. I'm like, the heck are you guys talking about? This guy's trash. Now he's showing the New York Jets just how bad he really is.
Yep.
But anyways, back to the backup quarterback talk of this game. We got the Colts with their backup.
Yep.
And Levis, I guess you can call him not a backup because they drafted him with like the first or second pick of the second round. So they are trying to see what they have in the future. Anyways, with all that being said, I think the Colts just have a little bit more on their roster. Now, I know Jonathan Taylor is going to be out for a couple weeks, but he also didn't start the season with the team because of the holdout. And Zach Moss did just fine. And I see Indy continuing winning and going 7-5 on the season. Which, by the way, Indy being 6-5 this year is kind of crazy.
They're 6-5.
Yeah, they're 6-5. I just noticed that.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I'm taking Indy either way. Yeah. This was one of the games that I just basically flipped a coin and whoever it landed on. But I'm gonna stick with Indy, going the Colts over the Titans.
One thing I forgot to mention before we started the game picks was our records from last week. How do I forget when when I went 12-4 last week?
Yeah.
It was just a great performance by me. How'd you do?
I went 10-6. All right. Hey, I had to take some
Yeah.
chances. I was behind
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
season overall standings, and
Yep. And now you're
I don't
further
even know
behind.
where. Yep. That's a. You know what? Hey, new week. Here we go.
Anyways, back to the game picks here. We have the Chargers, who completely fallen apart the last couple weeks after having a really entertaining game with the Lions. They haven't won since. They're traveling across country to face the New England Patriots, who have lost back-to-back games while allowing 10 points or less, which is the first time since like the 1993-1994, somewhere in that range season. The last team to do that. Do you know who the last team to do that was?
I'm gonna guess the Lions.
No, it's actually the Patriots. The Patriots were the last
Oh,
team to lose back-to-back games while allowing 10 points or less.
wow.
Yeah. So, and this was obviously before Belichick and Brady. This was like in the early
Yeah.
90s when that happened.
Like,
Um,
when Patriots actually weren't the Patriots, they were just another NFL team.
yeah. Well, now they're
Yeah.
just becoming back to becoming another NFL team,
Yep.
except they're bad. So they're a bad
Yep.
NFL team now. But anyways, like I said, the Chargers are a hot mess right now too. Brandon Staley is a dead man walking, and I'm picking the Chargers, but I would not be shocked if they lost this game because I don't trust them.
Yeah.
But I'm picking them to win this game because I just haven't seen anything in the Patriots offense that resembles an offense. So,
It goes back to the old saying, I'm picking the Chargers, but it goes back to the old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks, and the Patriots have two quarterbacks who are also no quarterbacks. And I don't even know if they don't even know who they're starting. I don't even think either quarterback knows if they're starting.
no,
There's just a
no.
lot. There's a mess going on in New England. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers as well.
Speaking of, if you have two quarterbacks or you have no quarterback, the next game is the Lions, who have Jared Goff, who has struggled the last couple weeks, granted, but he's still the team's quarterback, and there's really nobody on his tails. Except this clickbait article today called Hendon Hooker, a star rookie, which, okay. I love that pick, by the way. I'm not dissing Hendon Hooker, but the guy's been on injured reserve all year. Anyways, the Lions are taking on the Saints this week. The Saints have Derek Carr playing quarterback, but they should really be starting Jameis Winston. And I'm not just saying that because they're playing Lions this week. I'm saying that because Jameis Winston is the better quarterback at this point. Jameis Winston, he is going to turn the ball over for you, but he's going to take chances and you're going to score touchdowns. It's like the old Brett Favre thing. You're going to live with a gunslinger, you're going to die with a gunslinger. And that's what Jameis is. And you just got to live with him, if you ask me, especially now that you're in a playoff race in the crappy NFC South. But, anyways, they're starting Derek Carr, which means the Lions should win this game handily. I think this is a nice bounce back spot for Lions. I trust the Lions a lot less than I did 2 weeks ago, but I still think this team will win the division. And like I said, I think they have this game pretty easily this week.
I'm actually gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I
Really,
would pick yeah, I am only because Jared Goff has been struggling, and if you think about it, he has cost us the games in the first half. Um, Especially last week with the fumble issues, fumble going into the scoop and score of the Packers going up
Yep.
20-6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, there's been a lot of talks for the Lions of their defense, and granted, first half defense has not been good, but if you look at the second half defense over the last couple of games, it actually hasn't been too bad. It's
No.
been more of Jared Goff turning the ball over is what's been killing the Lions, and we don't have that defense that we can rely on. Yeah, they can make stops. Can they make the right stops is the actual question. Um,
And like I said, I don't trust Derek Carr, and that's where I'm coming from. I think Derek
yeah,
Carr is
yeah,
if we were playing a good team, I would definitely pick the other team,
yeah,
but I just think this is a good matchup for the Lions to rebound
yeah.
on.
Yep, well, I'm gonna stick with New Orleans only because I need to go opposite you at some point and try to beat you this week. So I figured, and hey, if I'm wrong, then that means the Lions win. So
Hey,
win-win for
that's it.
me.
One thing I do want to mention with the Lions game last week, and it's nothing to do with the moon phase or anything like that. But so I watched that game. Obviously, Thanksgiving. That's just your tradition is watch the Lions lose. Just like that old Family Guy clip. Brian the dog's in a Lions den. He goes, "It's Thanksgiving. Don't you guys have a football game to lose somewhere?" But anyways, the first play of the game with the Packers, they
Oh
did a deep
yeah,
shot, and I think I honestly believe that won the game right there. That first play of the game, because all season long, even actually not even all season long, the whole LaFleur era with the Packers, they've been trying to control the game by running the ball. That even with Aaron Rodgers, they tried to establish the
yeah,
run early on in games, and then you basically come up with that, and it's basically just a gut punch to the Lions,
Mm-hmm.
and they never recovered from it.
No, no. I think everyone was shocked.
Yeah,
I think the best part is LaFleur didn't want to do it, but Love was like, "No, we're doing this." And LaFleur
I didn't
caved and said, "You didn't
I
hear
didn't
about
hear
that?"
that. No.
Oh yeah, I think in the press conference after the game or during the one weekly radio shows, LaFleur said it was early in the morning. He texted Love and told Love, "Hey, I think we're gonna change how we're gonna start the game." And Love, said, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stick with this, coach. I trust me. I got this." And so they almost the beginning of the game was
I'll tell you what, if that game
yeah.
doesn't start like that, I think the Lion and you let the Lions settle into that game, the Lions probably win that game because
Mhm.
Lions, I think, are by far the better team. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Brad
I
Holmes
just
and Dan
think
Campbell have
everyone was
done.
shocked
Yeah, I
with
just
what
think it was
happened.
yeah, it was basically like a uppercut to the jaw, and he just never countered attacked. And no,
Correct,
granted, the
yeah.
Lions did go down and score a touchdown, but it just felt like once the Packers went down again, it's like, oh crap, like this is just not going to go well.
Right.
And now the next game we got here is the Falcons versus the Jets. The Falcons 5-6, the Jets 4-7. The whole NFC South is just a disaster right now. We'll talk about that division action when we get to the Panthers game because there's a fun little tidbit with the Panthers in this division, so stay tuned. But the Jets, after treading water, they've fallen apart the last couple weeks. Aaron Rodgers apparently has returned to practice.
Mhm.
I don't think he's going to play this year because I don't think they're going to win any more games. And the only reason he'd come back is that they had a playoff chance. Uh, I think the Falcons win this game. I don't know why I'm picking the Falcons, to be completely honest with you. I just don't really trust the Jets right now. And the Jets' specialty is supposed to be their defense. Their defense just keeps on getting destroyed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I know they played the Dolphins last week, but I mean, you got to hold your own against good teams if you're a good defense, and they didn't. So I'm going
Right.
to take the Falcons here. I don't know if it's called considered an upset or not, but we'll say it's an upset for the Falcons.
I don't know if it can be upset when the home team's under 500, but
No, but
anyways, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But I'm also gonna take the Falcons. Um, especially because the Jets, you got Zach Wilson and or Tim Boyle, the great Tim Boyle trying to
I think
win
they're
him a
sticking
game.
with Tim Boyle.
Are they?
They
Oh,
might
okay.
they might go to Simeon, but I think they're done with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They have to be. This is the second year in a row he's been put down to third string.
Right.
Like
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna take Hot Atlanta.
next we got the Arizona Cardinals versus the new revamped Pittsburgh Steelers offense, who look like a fancy Iowa offense now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they're still Iowa, but it's better.
right.
Um, this game, I honestly thought about this game for a few minutes because, yeah, the Steelers' offense did look a little bit better, but it still wasn't great. And the Steelers, they like playing with their food, for lack of a better term. They are 7-4, but they've had a lot of one-score games. And at some point, one of these one-score games is not going to go your way.
Right.
And I think Kyler Murray being back for the Cardinals, I could see them stealing this one. When it's all said and done, I am picking the Steelers to win this game, but I'm putting them on upset alert.
Ooh, look at you. I'm gonna stick with the Steelers at home. They have arguably one of the best defensive ends, edge rushers, whatever they're calling them now. And TJ Watt. I think he's just gonna wreak havoc on Kyler Murray. Make Kyler Murray prove that his legs still work and keep running away from him.
Yep. Next game we got is the Miami Dolphins versus the Washington Commanders. The Dolphins, their specialty is like the Cowboy specialty. We get a bad football team, we'll take care of them. And I don't see the formula changing at all this week, so I'll take the Dolphins in this game.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time here on that one.
Nope.
The next game, this is a sneaky matchup. It's not the game of the week, but it's a sneaky good matchup. We got the Denver Broncos, who are all of a sudden 6-5, against the Houston Texans, who are also 6-5. Both teams are kind of shocking the country right now with how good they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, the quarterback for the Texans, he had one game with 3 interceptions, but for the most part, he's limited the turnover. While the Broncos, they live off the turnover. Their defense forces a lot of turnovers and gives the offense short field. I'm taking the Texans to win this game. I think CJ Stroud and company takes care of the football, which limits the Broncos' offense. I don't think they can do sustained drives for distance. I think a lot of their scoring comes off of the defense creating turnovers. So you don't turn the ball over and you can beat the Broncos. And I think that's the formula the Texans have. So I'm going to take the Texans to win this one.
I'm gonna go opposite with you. I like the way the Broncos defense have been playing lately. They've been forcing the turnovers against teams. And like you said, that's been transitioning for Broncos defense to their offense. Their offense, the steal possession, you could say. But I'm going to take Denver on the over the Houston Texans.
The next game we have is the 1-10 Carolina Panthers coming off of firing head coach Frank Reich against the 4-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mathematically speaking, the Carolina Panthers are still in the division race. And if that doesn't, at 1-10, if that doesn't tell you how bad the NFC South is, I don't know what will. But
let's just recap real quick.
Yeah.
Who's leading that division right now? What's the record?
I think it's Tampa. No, it's not Tampa. It's either Atlanta or the Saints, depending on tiebreakers, but they're both 5-6.
Yeah, exactly. That tells you how bad that division is.
Yeah. So anyways, Tampa Bay at 4-7, Carolina at 1-10. This is kind of going to be a crappy game. Yep. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win just because, again, I like their team more. Carolina's in a mess right now, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon without the draft capital.
Right. Yeah. I'm taking Tampa Bay at home as well.
The next game we got is another sneaky good game. We got the 7-4 Cleveland Browns on the road against the 5-6 LA Rams. Everything in me wanted to take the Browns for this game, but I just don't trust DTR, so I'm taking my boy Stafford at home with the Rams. I think with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, there's just too much firepower for the Rams offense. Yeah, the Browns defense is really good, but their offense is not. And with Aaron Donald and company on the Rams defense, I just think they'll make life miserable for the Browns offense and win the game for them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Aaron Donald's going to welcome DTR to the NFL and get a couple hits on him and take the Rams at home as well.
There's a chance, though, that newly signed Joe Flacco gets in the game for the Browns, which, I mean, they just need an adult playing quarterback. They don't need anything special they just need somebody that can manage a game, and Joe Flacco might actually be the answer for the Browns, as crazy as that is. Next game, the game of the week. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers at 8-3. They lost 3 straight when Trent Williams was out. He's back in lineup, and they just got back their winning ways. Philadelphia coming off a huge win against Buffalo, I believe, last week in overtime. By the way, the overtime rules changed a couple years ago because Josh Allen lost the game in the playoffs and never got the ball.
No. Listen, everyone
What?
says that, but it's the year before when the golden child, Mahomes, never got to touch the ball in overtime against Tom Brady, and everyone was upset with that. And then it happened to Allen.
Well, either way, the rule is stupid anyways. It needed to be changed.
It is.
So
yeah,
I like the new overtime better. So if you're not familiar, basically, it used to be if you kicked a field goal, in overtime you won the game. Now, if you kick a field goal, the other team gets a chance to go down and score a touchdown. But if you score a touchdown, you win the game. Is basically what overtime is now. But ever since they changed that, Josh Allen is 0-3 in overtime now. Anyways, back to the Niners and Eagles, the game of the week. Both teams probably the favorites for the NFC Championship game. So we'll probably see this game again in January. Um, I I'm taking San Francisco. I think they're the better team.
Mm.
I know Philly's 10-1, but I just like San Francisco more. And the reason they lost those 3 games is because they were without Christian McCaffrey, Debo, and especially Trent Williams. I think
Yeah.
Trent Williams is the MVP of the NFL. He will never win it, but he is the
No.
MVP of the NFL.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So just because of how healthy they have gotten now, and they play good defense and they have a run game, and those two things travel well. So I take
Mhm.
them on the road against Philadelphia.
Yeah. This is what you would call an upset, Brandon, over a 10-1 team. I'm also taking the 49ers, as you can tell.
Yeah, I don't know if you could call that an upset, but it is an upset, I guess.
Technically,
It's
it's an upset.
it's the best 2 teams in the conference, so it's not like a really good bad team coming in and beating a really good team.
It's not the Panthers trying to beat Philadelphia here, so that
Yeah,
would be an
yeah,
upset.
that
But
would be a
yeah,
huge upset.
yeah.
So we're both taking San Francisco in that one. The next game we got the Kansas City Chiefs going into Lambeau to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Fun fact: Jordan Love's first career start came against the Kansas City Chiefs when Aaron Rodgers was out with COVID. He had to play a game against the Chiefs, and it did not go so well. We'll see if he can get revenge on the Chiefs. I just think the Chiefs, they just keep winning. They might not be pretty, but they just keep winning.
Mhm,
And they're just that team I never pick against them. I just can't. So I'm going to
right,
take the
yeah.
Chiefs.
I'm taking Chiefs as well. Also, I think this is Patty Mahomes' first time in Lambeau, I think, because Rodgers wasn't that at, Kansas
Yeah, that,
City?
that one was at Kansas City. How long has Mahomes been in the league? He was with Trubisky. He was in the Trubisky draft. And what year was that? Like
Eight
18, I think.
18, I think? I think this is his first trip to Lambeau.
It might be because it's every 4 years, I believe. Because you play the AFC. So if you're in the NFC North, you play the AFC North and then the AFC West, AFC East. Yeah. So every 4 years you play a team, and then so basically in 8 year span you play them once at home and once on the road. So this
Yeah,
is could very well could be now they changed it a little bit, so you play a random AFC team or NFC team depending what conference you're in. But
yeah,
yeah, it's probably Mahomes' first time at Lambeau.
yeah. And yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I think I said that already, but yeah,
Yeah,
I thought this was his first trip there, so
it very well could be. And then last but not least, or allegedly not least, just kidding. The Panthers Bucks game is least. We got the Bengals at the Jaguars. When this season started, this was a great game. Joe Burrow against Trevor Lawrence. But then Joe Burrow went out and got hurt for the season. So now it's not Joe Burrow against Trevor Lawrence. Uh, Cincinnati, I don't think there's much. The defense isn't that great. The offense without Burrow isn't that great. Jacksonville playing really good football at 8-3. I see them winning this game going 9-3, and I don't think they
mhm.
have a problem with it.
No, I'm with you on this. All Jacksonville at home as well. Again, I think Jake Browning is starting for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
I think, yeah. So
that
no
name
one
sounds
knows
familiar.
that was their backup, but no one else knows who he really is. It's a tough task asking a guy who's I don't even think he's taken a well, I guess maybe last week he did NFL career snap, and you're going on the road to Jacksonville
Yeah,
playing a
which
good
I mean,
good Jacksonville defensive team.
yeah, Jacksonville's home field advantage isn't the most intimidating thing in the league, though. It's not like going to Lambeau or Arrowhead or
Right,
Mile High or anything like that.
right.
But when we were looking at these matchups for this game, I brought up the question: Why? Well, if we ever get to the point where they flex Monday Night Football, well, and the reason I thought maybe we would never get there is because just logistics with travel and stuff like that. Because you've, I'm guessing these teams like book the motel rooms or hotel rooms like months in advance. Well, apparently, starting this year, uh, so this is directly from the NFL's website. I'll just read this little clip here for you guys. Flexible scheduling is in effect during the following windows for Sunday Night Football. It may be used up to 3 times between weeks 5 and 14 at the NFL's discretion during week 15 to 17. For Monday Night Football, it may be used at the NFL's discretion in weeks 12 to 17. For Thursday Night Football, it may be used up to twice between 13 and 17. So basically, up to 2 or 3 times, depending on the night, the NFL can flex these games. I'm sure the teams are overly joyed that there's a possibility that they get flexed to Thursday Night Football. I honestly don't see the NFL flexing a game to Thursday Night Football. I really don't see that scenario happening.
I don't either,
because just the roar of the players and the coaches and the GMs and the owners and basically everybody. I don't see that one happening. The Sunday night one, that one happens every year, so that's just whatever. The Monday night one's the interesting one.
Yes,
I could see it happening. I really do. I don't know what the Monday Night Football schedule looks like here in the next coming weeks, but let's say you get a game that on paper should have been a really good game. Like, for example, the Jets versus the Bengals. I have no idea if the Jets and Bengals are playing each other this year. But let's just say, for conversation's sake, let's say they're playing week 14, the Jets and the Bengals, and it was scheduled for Monday Night Football. Nobody wants to watch that game now. That game needs to be at 1 o'clock on local television. That's where that game belongs. And let's say that the same week you have the Cowboys and the Eagles. Well, if the Cowboys and the Eagles, that one's already probably a primetime game, so let's move to a different one. Let's go with, I don't know, the Jaguars and the Texans, because that's a sneaky good game now.
Right.
So I'd much rather watch the Jaguars and Texans than the Bengals and Jets at this point now. So in that scenario, I could see them switching Monday Night Football, but it'll be interesting to see if they actually ever do that or not. But that is all we really have for you guys today. We've been trying to make these episodes a little bit shorter just because on Thanksgiving, our episode was an hour 45 minutes. And as much fun as that was for us, we are sure you guys did not enjoy it as much as we did. And so we're trying to limit that from happening again. So we're switching to 2 a days, or 2 a weeks, excuse me, not 2 a days. That'd be a lot of work.
It'd be hard for us to do.
Yeah. Next week, I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do it. As I said at the beginning of the episode, I am coaching basketball now, or helping coach basketball. And we have, between Monday and Saturday, we have 5 games next week for my youth basketball team. So I'm going to try to get 2 episodes out. I'll talk to Alex here in the next coming days and see if we can figure out a day that we can get an episode out for Monday or Tuesday. Or else, worst case scenario, we'll just have a Thursday episode next week. But we'll keep you guys informed on the Facebook page. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're checking us out at. Please tell your friends and family and those in your life who are sports fans. Like I said at the beginning, we're just 2 sports guys who love sports. We don't like the politics side of things. We just want to talk sports. So, if that's your kind of thing, please come join us. We're trying to make this into like a fan thing too. So like the Facebook page, which I post on very regularly, I'd like more interaction on that with more people engaging on that. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. And if you ever have anything you want us to cover, again, we have ideas come all the time. Like I said, we talk all the time about different things we can do. And one of our new ideas, which I will tease you guys with a little bit, is we're going to make a list of, wait, he played there? And that's basically what the episode will be. We haven't figured out all the details. But for example, Manny Ramirez. We'll say Manny Ramirez because he's a big name. Not many people probably remember him in his days in Tampa Bay.
Nope. Or on the Dodgers.
So that's basically what it is well-known players who played for a team that you're like, wait, he actually played for that team? And I don't want to do like Tyler Pasternack playing for the Atlanta Braves. And you're like, who the heck is Tyler Pasternack? And I will tell you about Tyler Pasternack.
Oh, please don't. No, I can't take any more of that. I don't think these listeners understand how many times I had to listen to you talk about Tyler Pasternack.
He
Dude
was a
that no
baseball
one's ever heard of but
Yeah.
you and your
Yep.
family.
Yep. He was a
Because
baseball player in like the early 2010s. I think he played. I saw him in minor league baseball. And I thought he had the greatest name ever, so I just kept in track with him, and he ended up playing a couple seasons in Major League Baseball. But the point of it's not necessarily to show the most random players we can name, like Will Rhymes, stuff like that. Yeah, there's another name for you. But it's more like to show like these big name players like Manny Ramirez playing for random teams like the Dodgers or the Rays. Because when you think Manny Ramirez, you think Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what the point of that episode will be. In the week with Christmas coming up here in the next couple of weeks or month or so, we have Christmas themed. So it's not going to be pure sports all the time. We're going to have a little bit of fun for the holidays with Christmas and stuff. We did that with Thanksgiving. So it should be a good time. I hope you guys check us out and give us a listen. And again, please tell your friends and family about us. We'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. And we will talk to you guys next week. Have a great evening or afternoon, whatever time of day you're listening to this.